Hi, Dr. Lotto. I'm interviewer number 2. My name is Haleen.
Hi, I'm Oscar Novoa. I'm playing President John Locke.
Hello, my name is Lionel, and I'm John Locke number 1.
And hello, my name is Melody, and I'm interviewer 1.
We are group number 11, and our presentation is on John Locke.
Hi everyone, my name is Melody, and I am your interviewer for today, and I am here with a special guest. Hello, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hello, of course. So I'll go ahead and start by introducing myself. My name is John Locke. I was born in Somerset in 1632. My father was an attorney, and my mother actually passed away during my infancy, so I don't have much memory of my mother.
Well, I bet she would have been very proud of you. So I wonder, what is your educational background?
So a little simple information about my educational background would be I attended Westminster, and I was a college tutor and a physician at my side career.
Wow, very interesting. I heard you had a relationship with the first Earl of Shaftesbury, Mr. Cooper. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, of course. So I met Anthony Ashley Cooper. I met him a couple years back. I became his physician. And after I met him, he actually connected me to many social connections. So I met a lot of people through him, and I made many opportunities through him. So I'm very blessed and very grateful for his guidance.
I understand. Well, what happened with your relationship with him? I've heard he disappeared recently.
Yeah, so just a couple of years back, he actually ended up passing away. Rest in peace. And so because of that, I didn't really connect myself no more with his people. So after that, I disconnected myself, and I ended up going along my own road and making my own views, because even though when we would connect with each other, my views weren't connecting with theirs, so it caused a lot of tension and disagreement.
Oh, well, what kind of views are you talking about?
So I'm a Whig politician, and for us politicians, what I want myself is to get rid of the king and for him not to be in power, because a person like myself, I believe that everyone should be entitled to their own basic rights, which means that we all are entitled to have our own expressions, our own freedom, and I don't believe that the government or whoever is in power should be able to dictate that.
Well, that's very interesting. Well, let's switch topics. I was wondering, what is your methods and concentrations in psychology?
Yeah, of course. So where I grew up in a small town, which is actually in the country, Windsor, in Somerset, England. And in that small town, my dad had a very big influence on me, because due to the outbreak of the Civil War and my delicate health, he had to teach me at home, so I was home taught. And throughout my teenage years and as I was growing up, his influence of being an attorney, what led me to go more into politics. So after that, my father taught me like my main methods and my main views to continue on to express them and influence others.
Wow, that's very interesting. Okay.
You.
So I was wondering, I know you want to pursue your career and your current lifestyle to philosophy and psychology. What kind of methods, what kind of schoolings and teachings do you have to contribute to that?
So after the schooling and the teaching that was passed on by my father, I entered Westminster School in 1646, where I taught my education for about 6 years, and after that I transferred out to Christ Church in Oxford in 1652. And for about 11 years, I did that, and I ended up completing my bachelor's and my master's degree, and I taught natural science and Greek mythology, and I went on to do that for a while, then moved on to natural sciences as I became a member of the Royal Society last year under Robert Boyle, which I met a couple years back.
Wow, you seem like you've done a lot with your life.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, what kind of achievements have you done up to this point in your life?
I haven't accomplished much, but I have accomplished more than the average person in our community. So far in my life, I have a bachelor's, a master, and I've completed about 2 books, and I hope that they create a big influence in the upcoming year. And my bachelor's and master's is not the only schooling I plan to do. In a couple more years, I plan to go and pursue another bachelor's in medicine and science. When I was a senior student at Oxford, or Oxnard, I also developed an essay called The Toleration, and that ended up being a book. But one of the biggest accomplishments I say I would have would be the development of the British imperialism in 1660, and aside from that, having a big influence on the society around me.
Well, can you tell me and the audience what a so-called British imperialism is?
Yeah, so what those would be the the British imperialism was built off the rejection of innate knowledge. So what innate knowledge is the idea that the mind is born with preset ideas and knowledge and beliefs. But on the other hand, I don't believe this. My counter to that idea is that ideas are not native to the mind, and that we are set, and that we create these ideas based off the experience and the world around us. So with that being said, I believe that my perspective of the source of reliable knowledge is the only undeniable source of truth. And so it should not rely on faith or any acceptance of pre-given information.
Well, it was very nice to meet you, and I hope we meet again in another time.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you too and express my views.
Hi, so my name is Haleen, and I am interviewing John Locke now in present day. Hello.
Hello.
So, since the last time you've had an interview, did you get married or have any kids or anything like that?
Well, as a matter of fact, I have gotten married. Unfortunately, I haven't had any kids. I've been too busy with my academic research.
Mhm.
If I was to have a kid, though, I would name him after my father, who was actually also named John Locke.
Okay. And what about life in general and health issues? Have you come across anything like that so far, or hopefully not, but anything like that?
Unfortunately, I have a really bad case of asthma, which has contributed really badly towards my health.
Mm-hmm. That's really sad and unfortunate to hear. So I'm going to bring up the year of 1656. And can you tell me a little bit about that? How has your life been since then? Any big changes? Any new, just anything in general?
Well, actually, from the past, the year 1656,
Mhm.
I've actually gotten graduated from the University of Oxford.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
really good. That's a big accomplishment. So, why did you decide to teach at Oxford University? I know that you said that you were a student there. Could that have been a motivation maybe, or did that have anything to do with it, like your decision?
Well, yeah, actually, like you mentioned before, I was a student there, and I graduated with a bachelor's in degree in medicine. Like I said earlier, in 1656, around that time.
Mhm.
And a couple years later, after that, I graduated with a master's degree in psychology, in physiology. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And after that, I think I taught. After that, I went straight away into teaching and working at the same university that I graduated.
Okay. And then what about any students? Did you take anyone under your wing? Did you teach them share any knowledge of yours with them, or?
Well, yeah, the most notable person that I could come up with is the name Anthony Ashley Cooper,
Mhm.
which he decided to be my student after I did a good work on his procedure.
Okay. And what do you think has been your most notable work as a physician by far?
Well, like I mentioned before, I think that would be my most notable work as a physician would be my friend the Earl of Shaftesbury, actually, which he had a really bad case of a liver infection, which caused him to have a cyst in his system. But luckily, I was able to remove it, and he was able to live.
That's
to save
really
his life.
great.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you,
really
thank you.
great. And so now I'm going to talk a little bit about, I know that you were involved with the government. So can you tell me a little bit about that? What were your influences, impacts that you made?
Well, now that you mentioned the government, I have two books. But the main book that I want to talk about would be the Two Treaties of the Government, which I wrote back in 1690. But the main idea for that would be that it expressed that everyone kind of owned themselves essentially and had the personality to freely express themselves. So everyone should be able to express themselves, have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I think that everyone has that equal and same right.
No, I agree. And so, since the last time you had an interview, I know you spoke about a little bit about possibly writing a book and things like that. Has that came along? Was that in your future? Have you done anything like that before? Like written a book, an essay? Or are you planning to?
Yeah, like the book I mentioned earlier, it was a really big book, and
Right.
the two treaties of government really establishes the basis of all my beliefs and all my standings are. But this is also why I was also kicked out and had to leave where I lived, because most of the people around me didn't have the same beliefs as mine. Where it was standing that the books of the law of nature and concerning of tolerance.
Okay. Well, it was really great for you to sit with me, and thank you so much for your time. I know you're very
course.
busy.
Yes.
So, thank you so much.
No, of course. Thank you for answering me.